Take me out to left field. Give me a shot of Fireball. Give me some high fives from Mark Peña and a hug from Jeff Cross as we stand on top of the tables. Hearing the horns, that's a blast. For it's 1, 2, 3 shots from the cannon with the ladies of left field.
Hey y'all, it's game time with the ladies of left field. It's Katie here kicking us off along with Jordan and Kasey.
Hello.
Hey.
All right, y'all, and I'm going to get us started with our hot girl headlines. And mine is, one of the biggest things to happen this past week in sports, and that's the college football national championship game. It was Indiana against Miami Monday night. It was a really good game. We were all happy and really excited to see a good competitive game. Everybody I feel like, Indiana to win. Miami was a much lower seed coming in. Indiana was ranked number 1, was just killing people throughout their kind of time in the college football playoff. But it was a good game. We all wanted to see that. So Indiana did win their first ever national title, and they did cap off a perfect 16-0 season. So that's phenomenal. Go Indiana Hoosiers. It's weird to say that because of football. Usually Indiana is like super good at basketball. They've never been known to be a football school ever. So good for them. The game had some really great plays throughout it. Something, huge was Mendoza, the Heisman quarterback, really had an amazing 4th and 4 touchdown run. I mean, like spin, stiff arm, dive to the goal line, bloody arm, the whole thing. That really became, I think, a huge, big play of the game. Also Miami, like Kasey was saying, like it really had a good second half. They really made it competitive in the second half. But then I feel like Miami had all the momentum that Indiana blocked that Miami punt. And recovered that in the end zone. And so then the momentum shifted way back to Indiana. It was like, woo, everybody thought Miami was going to kind of come. And then that shifted. And then it was just a really close game. The last less than 2 minutes, Indiana was only up by 6 points. And I was thinking, damn, Miami could come down and score a touchdown and by a point, So I was trying to go to sleep, and I was, entertained. So I kept staying awake. And then Carson Beck, 6 years. And after the game, he also shared, they were like, oh, you've been going to grad school, at Miami. And they were like, he's like, I haven't gone to class at all at Miami. He's like, I graduated from Georgia. And he's like, I haven't been to class at all. And they were like,
well, Carson did the sloth Beck.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's not legal, but whatevs. And but no, then Carson Beck threw an interception. Miami had this late drive, Sharp intercepted it, and that ended the game. The Hurricanes, that was their last chance, and they lost. And then, so Indiana won. I'll say a couple of things that stood out to me after the game that I was a little frustrated with, and I was curious if y'all caught this or if you guys heard any news. I noticed that Mendoza, looked like he was beeline for, looking for Carson Beck to go shake his hand. And Carson Beck, just went immediately off the field. No handshake, no nothing. It looked shady as hell to me. And I was like, that's not cool, dude. You just threw the interception. You messed up. The least you can do is go shake the other team's hand. So
I did not notice that at all. Oh, dang. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Just
I saw Carson
feeling what I know about Carson.
I saw them show him on the sideline. Yeah, and he was just standing there, and then he started to walk, and there was somebody with him, and he kept walking. And I did see Fernando Mendoza running around looking, and I thought that's who he's probably looking for. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know. I mean, if he was just because he seems kind of like a giddy, he might have just been whatever. Just about Mendoza, it was like,
that was my next point, Case. Is I was loving this guy when he was doing his Heisman speech, and I'm like, oh, he should do the Heisman speech every year. Every player who wins it just needs to hire him to speak for them. And now I'm getting a little bit old. It's getting a little fake. And I'm like, this guy's almost too nice. I don't really know what's going on. Every time he speaks, he's like, and y'all. He looks at, he just has very interesting mannerisms, and everything is just glory to God. my teammate, my coach. And I'm just like, this is getting a little fake.
And I know everybody, and I know every team. I mean, and we're going to have it even on our own, like, baseball team, et cetera. Like, we're a brotherhood, we're whatever. And I'm like, have y'all been together for a year?
Right.
Shut up. I don't want to hear
Most people getting paid to be there. Stop talking about how you like.
I mean, I guess that's what they say all in the, NFL. We're a team. I'd live and die for each other. Blah, 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 and it's 1 year. But I think I'm a little, like, I'm kind of, like, over that in the college state. I'm like, y'all are old enough to even know. Just stop. I don't know. It's getting on my nerves.
Just stop.
And like, I don't know. All of his interviews now are just a little like, dude, come on. Like,
and we brought up the Carson Beck thing. Yeah, like Barton heard that like right before the game or something. Like he played it, something like, oh, I haven't gone to class in 2 years. And I'm like, well, there's a problem. And then
it feels like you shouldn't be on a college team if you're not attending some sort of college classes.
But when they were saying that some of the Indiana players were 23 and 24 years old, I'm like, what's going on?
How?
I'm like, we're past COVID time.
Yeah.
Last year should have been the last year of anybody still having COVID eligibility issue stuff. So I'm like, how are you 24 years old and still playing a college sport? Unless you
that brings up though, like the Trinidad Chambliss at Ole Miss, like his petition has been denied for him to play one more year now, but they are going into like whatever sort of they're going into the legal system for it. But that's another thing which I wasn't going to jump this. I was maybe going to bring this up if we had time later. But did y'all see? He signed an NBA contract. Technically never played in the NBA, but a former Alabama basketball player who is, as of a court injunction that came down, I think Wednesday, going to be allowed to play for Alabama, the University of Alabama's college basketball team, as of Wednesday.
No, yes. If you think you're good enough to go play in the NBA and you sign an NBA contract, and I don't care if you ever play, but if you make NBA money, and then you're done. You should not be able to go back and play college sports.
Well, it should be once you enter the draft. If you enter the draft, you're rolling the dice.
That's it.
And I know there was a Baylor player, but this one is unique in that this is the first time he had entered the draft and signed an NBA contract, and then has been given the chance to return. Because everybody else, I think it's the Baylor player that had played like European league, but has never played in the NBA. So he has been allowed to play again. But I thought it was interesting. The UConn AD in an interview was asked, I believe it's by ESPN, and he said, if legally we can't control or impose NCAA rules in terms of who can play and who can't, the NCAA still has the right to determine what games count towards the NCAA tournament qualification, which I think is like an interesting way to approach this. Like, sure, he can play. But then do you not count those games when you're considering them for the postseason?
Count. Yeah.
I think that's kind of what that implication was, is like, sure, let him play, but the NCAA better not consider any of the games that he played in when they're considering the 8 now teams that get to play in the postseason.
Well, that would be interesting. So then as a coach, you're like, why the hell am I going to take him? So none of my games are going to count towards like playing in, March Madness. Then like, why do I why play him? Why take him back? That's interesting.
Yeah. So we are just in the wild, wild west of college athletics in general.
That's the damn truth. We are. All right. Well, Jordan, you're going to tell us about your stars.
I am, because that's what I have right now. Mm-hmm. Stars are holding on in the Western Conference. They're behind the Avalanche, and when I was looking up standings, because I just haven't had the chance to watch that many games, I saw they're 11 points behind the Avalanche, and I was like, geez, that's not great. But then I realized the Avalanche are leading the entire NHL with 76 points, and then the next 4 teams are Tampa Bay and Carolina at 66, and Dallas and Minnesota at 65. So, like, it's actually, they're still, like, the number tied for the 4th best team in the league right now. So everything is looking good for the Stars so far. We will probably get a reenactment of my celebratory video that kind of kicked off this podcast last year. But that's kind of what I'm focusing on now. I got the Stars, and that's about, since I don't have any.
So the point system here, I didn't really know about points until like a couple of years ago. That basically is kind of like their seeding.
Correct.
Situation for once it comes into the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Postseason. Yeah. Because you look at it, and I think they're only 3 games behind the Avalanche, but then you get points for a whole bunch of things. So, Yeah, Avalanche are far and away the best team in the NHL right now, but the Stars are up there, which is fun. And Jason Robertson's currently third in the league with 29 goals as of this recording.
And the Stars have been pretty up and down, right, this year? Like, they started off
I was
great,
going to say it.
hit a wall. And
No, you're exactly right. And they are, in their last 4 games, they're 1-3. They've scored 3 goals in their last 4 games, or something like that. So, season is still long, but they got to turn around. They don't pay the Avalanche again until like the beginning of March. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
Okay.
But now that the college football playoff is hi PJ is entirely over. I am Stars and NHL hockey until baseball season starts.
Very nice. Very good. Very good. Well, I will, if we're kind of done wrapping up with the Stars, I was going to bring up that in the Saturday NFL playoff game, AFC playoff game, which was so good, with the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. I mean, that one was just, we'll discuss that game later. But Bo Nix, Denver's quarterback, breaks his ankle on the second to last play, like trying to like needle the ball or whatever. It's like nobody even knows this happens until, hours later. But the twist here is that Jarrett Stidham, who played at Baylor, he's now going to be their starting quarterback, and he hasn't thrown a pass in an NFL game in 2 years. And his backup now is Sam Ehlinger, who has popped up from the practice squad. But my dream scenario here is that Sam gets to go in and throws a pass to LJ and scores a touchdown, and it's all like we get to relive.
They get a winning touchdown.
Yeah, we get to relive all that fun, from a few years ago here at Texas.
Yeah.
So anyway, just a crazy, crazy, crazy turn of events in what was like just an epic playoff game where you were like, I mean, I like Josh Allen, so I was pulling for them, but I also like the Broncos, so I was just kind of like all of it. But then just felt so bad for like the Bills and Josh Allen, and just like, oh my gosh. So
I'm with you. That was my thing. Like, I don't really have anything against Denver, but I was just rooting for Josh Allen pretty much. Like, I thought that this would be their year since Kansas City was
right. Yeah. Well, I think
like
they
thought. And the Eagles, they were like, no Jalen Hurts, no Pat Mahomes, like all the things.
I did almost
also to have Denver win, and then have Denver win. I love Josh Allen, so I was cheering for the Bills big time. But then have Denver win, and then to have Bo Nix out, so it's like hell. It's not likely Denver's going to win again. So then you even feel worse. Like,
no, Katie, you can't say that. You've been saying all NFL season that Bo Nix is nothing, no fantasy points, no. Because I almost texted you when I got the push notification, because I was like, shouldn't be a problem because Bo Nix doesn't do anything for them anyway. Like, we've been saying that all season.
That's true. I was saying that while we were watching the game at Lavaca Street as well. I was like, God dang it, I can't understand why Denver is good. I know it's their defense. Kasey kept telling me, Katie, it's their defense. And I was like, I know. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that was wild.
I really have thought that the NFL playoffs have been really good this year. They're really good. Have been really good. I mean, I didn't even because we were at Lavaca Street all day watching that first game. I did not stay awake for the second game, which apparently was nothing to see.
No.
So that one, which I didn't have any ill will there. Fine for the 49ers to lose. That's fine with me.
Mm-hmm.
But then the next day, I mean, like the Chicago game, oh my gosh.
So good.
Chicago Rams, that was like so good. And the Texans Patriots, I mean, I was like seeing it. We were in an outdoor place. And so it was like, and I did, there were lots of Texan fans around us. And so I was, and I wasn't cheering one way or the other. I was just kind of watching. But there was this one lady sitting at this other table, and she's sitting there, and she's like with her family and stuff. But she's sitting like kind of on a picnic table, and she's got her legs like spread across so she can see the big screen. And her legs are just bouncing up and down. And I was like, oh God, that poor lady. She goes, I feel her pain. I told Barney, I think that's me and a Cowboy. Like if this were the Cowboys, that would exactly be me.
Yeah.
I was just like nervous the entire time.
Well, that was such a weird game for the Texans because what's his name? CJ Stroud just played horrible.
Did he throw? Did it end
Four
up being
picks.
5? I was saying 4 in the first half. I remember 4 in the first half, and I was just
5 turnovers. I don't know if they were all interceptions. I feel like he
Yeah.
fumbled a couple of times too.
When he played, and then people were like, wondering if he was going to get pulled because he was playing so bad. It was so weird.
Yeah, I thought I heard somebody even say something about like he may not have had he didn't have a complete pass or something at least
here.
for at least for a majority of the game. I was like, geez,
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah. I know. So this weekend, what are the games? NFL
It's
playoffs.
the Rams are playing Seattle.
Okay. Well, and
And
Seattle kicked whoever.
the Eagles, yeah, and then the Broncos are playing
what Sadie
the Patriots. And so it's funny because I looked up, I was wondering okay, is the weather going to be an issue? And with the Broncos Patriots, it's not. It's going to be cold, but nothing that probably either one of those teams can't handle.
Yeah.
Because
Where is the game? In Denver?
It is in Denver.
Okay.
And then Seattle Rams is in Seattle, same kind of situation. Kind of nice, but it'll get cold. But no, they're not. None of them have wet. None of them have wet weather. So and so, weather really, people will be bundled up, but it shouldn't be like what we watched this past weekend with rain and sleet and snow,
and
stuff like that. Whereas in others thought it was funny because it's like, okay, could be icy the rest of the play, all down here we're watching. You're like, oh, okay. But
Interesting.
so those games will be, hopefully they'll be good,
And I know, Kasey, you've told us, and I think this is still it, that we have so many Texas Longhorns still playing fall playoffs.
We do. We will for sure have a Longhorn on each Super Bowl team because we have somebody on every team.
Yay!
That's awesome.
The Broncos have the most, and then of course, like we said, they've got 6 with Sam even moving up, and then the Rams and Seattle both have 3.
Okay.
And then Brendan Schooler is on the Patriots, and he's part of their special teams unit, so he plays.
Okay.
And Texas has the most active players that are in the playoffs from college. On rosters, and then even on if you take the whole active practice squad injured, we also have those there too. Yeah.
Yay.
So that's a nice little feather in the cap for our football program, I think.
That feels good in the Longhorns. And speaking of, just real quick, a side note, I think I saw that the projections for next year came out for college football.
Yeah.
3 or 2?
Both. Yeah. And multiple little, what do you call them? Polls have come out. One of them were 2. One of them, I think, were 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I like that. I like not being number 1. I prefer.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't need to be at the top again because that was tough.
For sure.
Yeah.
We said that going into the season, number 1.
It's hard.
Just it's not been great. Yeah.
No.
It's bad juju.
Yeah. And one more thing also about, and kind of going into football, we talked about it on our last podcast about the NFL coaches, mayhem
Mhm.
fired. And there were 2 more that kind of just McDaniel, or 3. Okay, there's McDaniel from Miami, and which I was disappointed about only because I had heard that he liked Quinn, and so now I feel like now Quinn's going to have to whoever comes in there, it's not going to be automatic, kind of faith in him kind of thing. And then Buffalo firing McDermott.
That was shocking.
That one kind of shocked me.
I read that after that next morning after the Buffalo loss, and I was like, "Is this a AI wrong?" You know what I mean? How you get those on your social media that are weird, not truths. And I was like,
Just
not true.
And I didn't read very why. What is the what? I understand you haven't won a Super Bowl, but I just don't get.
It's just, I think it's emotional, reflex. People not thinking things through,
knee jerk type thing.
Yeah, because we had on I think it was Barstool Sports, whatever, Monday morning, and when that came down, they were still talking to John Gruden, and he was just like, I don't know. He goes, "That's ridiculous." He goes, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard." And
because who do you go get?
Right.
That's kind of him. thing. Yeah.
Because unfortunately, Harbaugh, it went to the Giants, like extra gross. I hate them more now.
I know.
I know. That really bummed me out too. I'm like, go Giants.
I just don't like him, and I don't like the Giants. So there's that.
I would take Mike Tomlin at the Buffalo Bills.
So that's that was the third one that I forgot hadn't happened last time we went on, because we were talking about how Harbaugh was the second longest tenure after Tomlin.
But I think he did step down, but people said that might have been a
discussion.
Yeah.
But you've heard, I mean, we've been hearing these rumors all season that he he was going to get fired, you know,
I just heard some people say that he may take like a year sabbatical, you know, like not coach for a year, you know, kind of thing.
I kept reading he's going to go do TV. I was like, well,
that'd be great.
Great. Like do TV for a year or two and then get back into coaching. Just take a break from coaching.
Yeah.
I'd watch him.
Well, totally. I know. I don't, the McDermott thing, I just feel like I just think that's like one of those deals where teams and whatever, I feel like almost have these unrealistic expectations. It's like, yes, this was the first year Josh Allen won a playoff game, which I know, but like, you're like thinking that this, you know, but y'all have been so good now, you know, with this coach. And it's like, okay, because you're not getting to the Super Bowl, you're not getting, you know, into the, you know, final games, that then you need to replace your coach. I don't know. Like, come on. He's, you know, getting y'all really good records and getting you guys lots of wins. It seems, I don't know, just like an unrealistic expectation. But yeah.
Who knows? About like, who are you going to go get?
Right. No clue.
Probably the hottest name on there already has a new job.
Yeah.
It sounds like Tomlin is probably not going to coach next year at least. So like, I don't.
And McDaniel took the Miami look and like, you know, exploded it. It looks like he's on drugs all the time. And so that's not that look. Does not.
So I think he has a new job. I think he's going to OC at, hold on, give me 2 seconds. Because I think he's going to go be an OC somewhere. I feel like I saw that or got a push alert or something. But yeah, he's not. Where's he gonna go? He's the Miami man now. Where's he gonna go?
Well, it looks like he's like, like, you know, best friends with like Pablo Escobar. So I don't know. Funny. Yeah, you have to update us if he's gonna be an OC somewhere already. But
I didn't see. I'm gonna look.
All right, so we got the NFL taken. It's going to be good. I'm excited to see, again, like Kasey said, all these games have been so good in the NFL pretty much, all except for one, you know, so hopefully this weekend they continue to be really good. And then I know we have a couple updates around what's been happening in our UT sports, you guys. Speaking of polls, our awesome softball team that we all love dearly does debut at number 1 in multiple polls. So that's great. Love that. And Texas Tech is also right up there with us, but who cares about them? Go.
I was having to type up I was doing a composite schedule for our next newsletter, and man, softball doesn't mess around. They play a bajillion games. Like, I mean, just right off the bat, like if they go to a tournament, they play lots of games. Like, or if we're hosting a tournament, I mean, they play like, you know, 2 different teams in one day.
Wow.
You know? Right. It's like doubleheader Friday, doubleheader Saturday, another game on Sunday. Like,
so it was like, man, you know, like
Chargers also. That's where McDaniels is probably going to be Chargers OC with Justin Herbert.
Okay. There you go. He can take that look to California.
So I think, but softball is pretty exciting for them. Yeah. Then their season starts February 6th, so that's right around the corner. And then on the same preseason poll note, baseball is right up there with number 3 in one poll, and then like number 8 in 2 other polls. I kind of thought that was a little odd with the stretch, but who knows? I mean, I don't know how they evaluate when, you know, it's a guessing game. Because in my mind, I was like, you know, last year we weren't even, I don't remember if we were ranked preseason or not. I mean,
I don't think so.
We certainly weren't in the top 10. I mean, with the not knowing anything about what we might have and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, the SEC though is like, good Lord.
I know, stacked.
Yeah. You know, like in the polls, like LSU's number 2, Mississippi State number 3, Auburn 5, Georgia 6, Arkansas 10. I was like, okay, that's a lot.
we
And
go.
that's 10.
Yeah.
Tennessee 13, Ole Miss 16, Vanderbilt 17, OU 19, Florida 22. So we play 6 of those teams.
Wow.
And so, and when I was first thinking, I was like, oh, but we've kind of got a, we might have gotten a good draw here. And then I'm like, oh my God, no, maybe not. I don't know.
Like, you got the good of what you can for having to play in the SEC, I guess, because you don't have
Right.
LSU, you don't have Georgia, I guess.
Yeah.
Georgia, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas is not
No Arkansas.
Yeah,
no
that's
Arkansas this year.
crazy to me too. I kind of forget who did we determine, because then when they made the move to the SEC, it was like you have two rivals that you play every season, and everything else is like a random draw.
Yeah, that might
ours too. OU and LSU. Oh,
that might have just been football.
Oh,
like that every year.
That seems like a very missed opportunity, also, to not do Texas LSU and Texas Arkansas every year.
Yeah. Well, you could have thought that we would have Arkansas.
Yeah. But then you think like, well, the Aggies and OU, are.
I guess those are the ones that they stuck. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if it's an automatic we'll play A&M every year or not. I mean,
I don't know either.
If it was just kind of happened. And that was another weird thing too that happened with that Caleb Longley guy.
Oh yeah.
And that little dispute and then leaving that. I mean, like, month out.
Yeah.
And he's like supposed to be big time, the recruiter and
right.
Yeah. I'm very much paraphrasing something I read. I'm very much paraphrasing something I read that was like screenshots from an Aggie message board. But I think essentially like they weren't letting Longley do what he wanted to with the hitters, I think. And when A&M started to turn around last year is when they finally started letting him do his job with the hitters.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they weren't going to, like you were mentioning, like a contract thing now. They weren't going to pay him for that. So that is why like, good for him, except also kind of, I don't know. It's all just weird. Because Longley was at Texas for I don't remember a couple years, right?
No.
Longley?
Was he?
Hang on.
Or was he the one that I thought he was one of the ones that came with them and then came from A&M and then went back to A&M with them?
No, I remember this guy because yes, he sorry, dog's barking. Yeah, he was kind of the I thought he was kind of the spearhead of the nerd herd essentially. Like he came to Texas for 2022.
With who?
And then left. He came after the 2020 or joined the program after the 2022 season.
Kind of come in when we didn't have Tulo.
That's what I was wondering.
And then left last year. Got, I guess, poached by A&M or taken.
Well, early must have taken.
Yeah, when Early took it back.
Oh, you're right.
But which is also kind of yes. No, I remember Longley being in Texas at least for a little bit.
Yeah, right. There's pictures of him in a Texas uniform.
But
well, he also has some other side business, and so they were also saying something about that.
Yeah, he was in his third season on the Texas baseball staff as an assistant coach in 2024. Outfielders and hitters. Yep.
Yeah, he was nerd adjacent at least. Like he has some sort of hitting technology. I think that he is his other job or that he created.
Yeah. Yeah, he said when he was on staff, Texas produced the 3 highest home run totals in school history. That's interesting. He had so on 2022, he was the hitting coach there with Ivan Melendez. Yeah.
No, I definitely remember him at Texas, and then I remember it must have been when Early came and then left. Because I was kind of like, damn, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But that's also insane that they're not going to pay him for if all the rumor message board whatever is true that he turned around their offense last year and they're like, nah, that's baloney.
So were the A&M fans freaking out, mad at their people
or their program?
It was most the only things I saw were just like why, because I think everyone was shocked that he left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the only things that I saw were essentially they weren't going to pay him, and
they don't have any
turned
money
it around last year. Yeah,
if they have to pay all their players. I mean, you know.
I mean, LSU, man.
Pretty soon, nobody will be able to actually work for the colleges. It'll just be throw a bunch of guys out there and y'all figure it out.
All the money's going towards the players. We can no longer pay coaches.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This lonely guy is interesting, y'all. Yeah, they're like, he's the creator and CEO of MARV, Marv Training, a unique training tool focused on hitting and arm care routines that's used across multiple sports. And he actually was a quarterback trainer before, and he even trained Jalen Hurts.
I was like, this is all coming back to me now. Yes, because
He's a
super interesting dude, super smart guy.
Yeah,
seems like a super smart guy. Like now you're saying that's all, because I remember being bummed when he left with Early,
and
then giggling, saying that he was not going back to A&M. But now I'm like, does he come back to Texas?
I don't know if we have any spots.
I don't think we have any spots.
Space. Could he be like if he's making money on his other thing, can he just be a volunteer like Tulo did that one year? Like,
no, I don't think. I'm laughing at the reason I knew this, and I didn't follow up about this until today. But our friend Cindy, last week was texting me, and she's like, "You see Caleb and Longley out of job with Aggies," and she's like, "Dumbass, double dipping." I didn't know what was even going on, and then it was not until this morning all of a sudden I remembered. I was like, "What happened?" And I looked that up.
That's hilarious.
This guy do. Well, I wonder, because in my head I'm just like, oh, he has a business and also he's a coach, but I guess maybe if he's like selling this to
players,
like other individual players or in other SEC programs, like I can see now that we're talking it through, I totally see it. At first I was just like, let the man make his money, let that boy live. But I see what you're saying now.
Conflict of interest and all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, we are excited. The baseball season is starting. Our alumni game is January 31st, and the season kicks off like Valentine's Day weekend. And we have some players that are looking good. They've collected preseason All-American honors. So Dylan Volantis, who we love. And we have some transfers. Carson Kinney from Notre Dame and Aiden Robbins from Seton Hall. So that's exciting. We're gonna see.
Yeah, those two are supposed to be real hot shots. So I hope that they continue on from what they did last year at their previous schools.
Yeah, that Aiden Robbins had a batting average of 422. Jeez, bring that, please.
Yeah. His numbers were very, very impressive. When I looked at
that catcher, Carson Kinney. You know, with Ryland gone, let's have this guy come in and kill it. So it'll be fun to watch. Join us in left field for sure. What else we got? Basketball.
Yeah, I'll just kind of wrap up basketball. Our women took a little shot with losing to LSU and South Carolina. Back on the road.
It was rough.
I did it.
I was one of those coaches. It's like losing to Dawn Steely and losing to what's her name?
Kim Mulkey.
Kim Mulkey one's the one that I don't like it. Like I don't know. Dawn Staley, she's a badass. Like, that's fine. I did go to that game. It was packed for the entire game. The entire
packed on
full till the end of the game. Like that was, and it was cool too because you had This is why I do appreciate about South Carolina women's basketball fans specifically, because they were all like, we were a very small group. Like there were like 20 of us, to 20 Texas fans, I will say. And when we were leaving the stadium, a couple different South Carolina fans were like, man, you guys put up a good fight. Like, I really like your defense, or I really like your coach, or that Maddie Booker is great. And I was like, I just appreciate that everyone just appreciates women's basketball here. Like, thank you.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's cool. I'm glad you went, Jordan. That's fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. It was very cool. I'm bummed that Texas didn't win, but I was glad that I got to go because like the atmosphere was just awesome.
I need to take PJ to a women's basketball game because she needs to learn the point of the sport. Because after her basketball game last Saturday, I was like, God damn, we have to be better than this. It was horrible. So that's fun.
I have been kind of surprised that you were as like, no, it was fine.
Well, I yelled during the whole game, and Mark was like, Katie, nobody else is yelling. Stop yelling at the girls. And I was like, well, they're fucking dribbling, not towards the actual basket. I was like, dribble towards the basket, not out in the middle of the court. And then I was like, and then when they throw you the ball, catch it with two hands. They were trying to already start dribbling, and then it gets stolen away from them. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
The funniest comments were when Shelly's texting asking me for the schedule, and Mark's like, no, this is not for public watching. And then somebody's like, oh, they're just having fun learning or whatever. And then Mark's like, well, the other team did not get that memo. They've scored points. We could not score a basket.
We scored 2 baskets, then a free throw. 5 points total. The other team scored 28 points.
Ooh.
And Mark's like, they definitely let their foot off the gas in the second half. And I was like, shut up. It was real bad. So I was like, damn, I'm going to start watching basketball so you understand the point of this game. I did take her to open gym the next day. There you go.
Love it. I love it.
Oh, and our mid basketball team has looked somehow okay, y'all.
Yeah.
Shocked. I am shooketh, my friends. Shooketh. How did they beat Alabama and Vanderbilt? I didn't even turn on the games. I was like, no, not worth it. Because the last game I watched was a Tennessee game, and we all know how that went. And I was like,
right. And then Miller like lost his shit and just told them how it is. And then they kind of, they like stepped up.
Well, watching the Alabama game, we had the same announcers that called the Tennessee game, and so they too seemed to be
surprised,
in shock. But they were also. I loved listening to them because you could almost tell like they were pulling for us just because of what had happened. I think they were pulling for whatever Sean Miller had done, to get their attention. I mean, they were talking about it. He goes, he got their attention and da-da-da. And so it was fun. But that game, that game was ridiculous in that game was almost 2 hours and 45 minutes, and it did not go into overtime.
What?
Yes. So what kept happening was the Alabama coach, he kept appealing calls.
Oh, that's so freaking annoying. They have to do something about that, or you only have a couple of appeals.
And it was like, and I didn't know if at first what I was kind of appeal it. And then finally, the announcers, they equated, they were like, let's try to equate this to the college football playoff right now, and the NFL playoffs. This would be if a coach on every play basically would be like, I think there was holding. Can you go back and look at that?
So ridiculous.
Well, then a game would last all day because there's holding every play. Or you could make them look at that. If you're giving them that opportunity.
Dang.
And I think they have to do like volleyball does. You only can have a couple of appeals. And that's it.
Because I thought you essentially to appeal, I thought you had to call a timeout. And then if you lose your appeal, you lose your timeout.
I don't know.
But if you win your appeal, you get your timeout back.
I don't know how
it's had a whole bunch of good. I don't know. That's nuts.
What the guys calling the game, they were like former coaches or current coaches are texting us saying, y'all are right. This is ridiculous. We're ruining the game. Something has to be done about this, blah, blah, blah. But because the game that was coming on after us was BYU and somebody, and Barn was excited to watch some big star on BYU's team. That's supposedly the best player. By the time that game started, or by the time it came on that channel, they were like, there was 8 minutes to go in the first half, because you could have turned it on to the ESPN app or whatever and got it on a channel. Yeah. But still, I was like, this game is going forever, and it's not an overtime.
That's wild.
It was just a regular, regulation game that was almost 2 hours and 45 minutes. But it was still good that we won. But, so.
God, I wish you hadn't taken 2 hours and 45 minutes to do it.
Right. And then Vanderbilt, we just came out and just played good from start to finish and just looked really good. Yeah. And then A&M, I think it was hard to, I was trying to watch the same time as the football game, and that one looked like it was pretty much back and forth. But I think at one point we got down by 10, and then just couldn't
come back. Yeah,
couldn't get it all the way back. So hopefully tonight we're playing Kentucky. And that's happening right now as we speak. So when you listen to this, hopefully we'll have another win.
Hopefully have a result.
I know I had like a later meeting at Highland Park that night, the Vanderbilt game, and then I get a text like I'm almost done with my meeting, but it would have been from a parent and who's also like a friend of mine, like old school. I've known him for like 20 years. He was like, "Hey, Katie, I got extra spots in the Brown suite. You want to come to the basketball game?"
Oh yeah.
Like, God dang it! And I was like, "I do want to come." I was like, "But there's no way I can swing this." And so I was like, "But ask often if you get these suite situation again." And I was like, and then we won. So I was like, "Damn it, that would have been fun," because we actually won.
Yeah.
But
on the Vandy note too, the Vandy women are one of 2 women's basketball teams that are undefeated this year, which is crazy to me.
Really?
Vanderbilt and UConn are the only 2 undefeated women's basketball team.
I just assumed it was only UConn at this point.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's Vandy, but Vandy plays South Carolina on Sunday. So
are they ranked in the top 5? Are they up there at the top?
Let me think. Actually, because I haven't even. No, well, they couldn't be top. I doubt they're top 5. Let me see. Hold on.
I guess
because
it was odd that Vanderbilt was undefeated when we beat them, and they were only ranked. So they clearly hadn't played anybody.
But you think Vanderbilt's been they are. Vanderbilt is number 5. So
Okay.
The most recent ranking, it's UConn, South Carolina, UCLA, Texas, Vandy, LSU.
Okay.
Well, that's good because I was going to say that's because they've been playing in the SEC at this point, which is not a cakewalk by.
Yeah. Well, right for the women, but the men,
Yes.
men.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, for the women, I would have been as soon as you mentioned, I would have been shocked if they were lower than like 6 or 7. But yeah, they play South Carolina on Sunday, so good luck. And Texas will play them before we have our next episode. So everyone, let me see, what day is that? It's in Nashville, but it's no, never mind. It's February 12th. We will have another episode before then. So
okay,
chat about that a little more. See if they're still undefeated. See if they beat South Carolina.
Yeah. And we're continuing with our every other week situation until we get to baseball season. So
we'll be back after the alumni game.
Yes. That'll be fun. We'll have good NFL news to share, and we'll tell you all the scoop on the left field sitch.
Yeah.
For the alumni game.
All right. See y'all in left field.
See you in left field.
See you in left field.